All right. Start streaming. Yes. All right. Good evening. Hello and welcome to The Edge of Disclosure, aka ThEoD. This show is about looking up into the skies, thinking about the surroundings, understanding there is always something new to know. We talk about UFOlogy, paranormal happenings, conspiracies, science, and technology updates weekly, every Saturn's Day, aka Saturday, at what time is it out there, Alice?
8 p.m. Eastern time out here.
Yeah, so 5 p.m. Pacific, 6 Central, 6 Mountain, 7 Central, and of course,
What's
as Alice
New
said,
Zealand
8
time
Eastern.
right now?
Sorry, what?
Oh, well, remember I have partners in crime with me, and one of them's from New Zealand.
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. I'm going through the intro. For links to the sources, the music, anything else potentially interesting, please check the underbar of the description below. And as usual, all links gathered throughout the show will appear post-live stream. Anyway, I am Aoxander, and today I am joined by...
The lovely Who is Alice. Also, by the way, in New Zealand time, it's 2 p.m. right now.
Ooh.
But a day ahead of us.
Tomorrow, so...
Yep, yes. And also, I am joined by... and Dusty. We got a New Zealander and we got an American man who was a Navy vet and also a deep sea diver.
Oh, nice.
Yes. So we got a little party over here. We're drinking some wine, have a candle going, and eating pistachio nuts.
Well, hell then, you said a Navy vet and a deep sea diver. I wish this was the Peanut because, I want to talk about non-UFOlogy things with him out, about his career and everything. That sounds interesting, but...
Well, Dusty, actually, once upon a time, he broke the world record for deep sea diving twice.
Oh, yeah, you talked to me about him before, right? Wait,
yeah,
we've spoken
same
before.
guy I'm with right now.
We've spoken
with
before,
his
right?
lovely wife. Huh?
We've spoken before, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember him. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, you had like a 20-minute conversation while I was at work.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm also constantly high. But anyway, you said, before we get into these articles that I scrounged up, actually, you said that you had some ghost stories and your constituents there have some paranormal storytelling of their own. So let's hear it.
Yeah, well, Victoria, what is your ghost story?
I can barely hear her.
I came from work and made a cup of coffee and I went upstairs and was relaxing, waiting for the kids to come home from school. So I sat, and this was in Singapore. Yeah, I lived in Singapore for 25 years. And I lived in a very old house that was occupied by officers during the Japanese occupation. And I always suspected there were ghosts there, but nobody else seemed to notice them or feel them until I brought it to their attention. Anyway, I was sitting on the floor, looking out onto the balcony, and not touching anything, and just leaning against the leg of the bed. And then, I don't know how much longer, how long I'd been there, but out the corner of my eye, I noticed movement, and this big mirror, which is hanging on the wall above my dressing table, fell off the wall. I can't explain it. It just moved. It fell forward. It's a huge wooden mirror. It hit the dressing table and then flipped right over and came down to the floor. I was sitting on the floor and landed right beside me, like a centimeter. Not touching, a centimeter. It was just, I can't explain it. It was just the scariest thing. I was just stunned. The glass broke. It shattered into a zillion pieces, and they flew up into the air, and then it all shattered down on me.
So it didn't fall. It floated and then or it got thrown or something.
No, it didn't float. It kind of fell off the wall. Fell forward.
I'm sorry, Alice. Can you get the mic closer? She's cutting in and out.
Oh, okay. I'm moving the phone as I'm trying to talk with my hands. The mirror fell down and hit the dressing table, mirror side hit the dressing table, right? And then it flipped right over. So that when it landed on the floor, the mirror side was up.
Hmm.
So it came the wall down. I hit the floor upward. Yes, it hit the floor. When it hit the floor,
I can't hear
all
you
the
guys.
mirror shattered and flew up in the air.
Huh.
Can you hear me now, bud?
Yeah, no, like...
Okay, so what she's saying is that this mirror that was on the wall, big, heavy wooden mirror.
Yeah.
No, it's just my phone being a piece of crap. But so what happened is that the mirror fell forward, but then how it fell, it didn't break, but it flipped backwards. And then when it hit the ground, like with the mirror facing up towards the ceiling, it shattered upwards and then landed all over you.
Wow, that's
Which
kind of
shouldn't
weird.
happen. Yeah.
Like...
That's her ghost story right there.
Well,
like,
I wanna know,
paranormal. Like, that's crazy.
Well, no,
That's
I'm trying to
weird.
think of the physics behind that, because, like, if that is paranormal, like, because I'm not trying to debunk it or anything, but like, I'm thinking, okay, would there have been a chance that it just normally just fell from the wall, because it was a big, heavy thing, you know, and I'm not sure how secure to the wall it was, you know.
It was from a dresser, and so it was a dresser in the way.
Okay.
And with the nails, it was nailed in too, right? It was nailed in.
So it was like, it was secured, like, to the wall
Very
completely with
secure.
nails. It wasn't just hung there, but it was attached to the wall.
Yes. Right?
Okay. Then that's a different story.
It was like that on the wall. It came forward. I don't know. It just came forward like that, and then flipped right over.
So it did like a somersault?
I suppose it did a somersault. Perhaps it was longer than the dressing table. I mean, when you think about it, it could have.
Back to the glass, like blew up.
I don't know. Yeah, exactly. It shattered all over me. I couldn't really think about it. I was just so in shock, I have to say.
I would say that's a very interesting situation.
Because I'm no scientician, but like, you know, the way she described the glass shattering, like, that is very horrific, very very out of, like, you know, a freaking Friday, no, not Friday, but like a Nightmare on Elm Street movie, like the glass just like all of a sudden just shattering upwards and everything. I'm trying to think of the physics, like, not that I'm trying to debunk, but would it be possible to debunk? You know, because, like, it's not that I don't believe in I completely believe in paranormal, believe me, you know, but I'm also, like, you know, someone who tries to think, okay, how, if possible, would it be? So it was fastened to the wall, it just comes off the wall for whatever reason, like, it could be paranormal, or maybe the wood rotted, because you said it was an old bunkhouse or something. I'm not sure the condition of the structure, so I have no idea. But then it flipped, didn't break, and it landed, you know, face up, and then it broke straight up. That's very unusual.
You'd think that, like, when it fell, it would just, like, you know, it would crumble right there, like, just crack.
Yeah.
But it went upward
Yeah.
in the air. That's kind of weird. Like, I can't think of.
I'm just trying to think of, like, inertial, like
It's
physics.
like a waterfall, like a thought.
Well, I mean, like, you know, the act of it tumbling and everything, its center of gravity and the inertia and all the stuff, like, you know, an object in motion will stay in motion unless, you know, it's acted upon by an outside force, you know, Newton's third law, I believe. So, like, I'm thinking, like, all the physics going around, you know, all the atoms and everything bumping into each other, like, you know, how, like, you know, you can actually see it with water, how the energy moves around, but the energy moves around in solid objects, too. And that's why things break and crack and whatnot. And I'm trying to think of how to explain it with physics that the glass would explode like that, and I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I know. But people like, for me, like, you know, I am not an innocent person by any means necessary. I mean well, but I do bad things, and I make mistakes, and I didn't actually believe fully in ghosts until actually I had an experience for it. And that was when I was at this, it's called a workhouse. And I told you guys earlier today about it. But it was an old, actually before this building became a workhouse for a jail, it was once a sanatorium for people with, like, tuberculosis and stuff, and there's whole bunch of housing, like, around it. It's like this big circular thing wrapped around a river, and there's tunnels built underneath. But then it became a mental asylum for a while where they did inhumane shock therapy and stuff like that. And then it became a jail where all the doors actually in your cell, like for your supposed cell, has no door. Like if you have to go to the bathroom, you have to walk down to this bathroom with stalls in it. And you have to like walk, like, you know, it's like a T shape. Well, it's more like an I shape. So it's like you have a long part. It's like a 4-story building, but like you have one in the basement. And it goes
What was
out.
it called?
And then
Do you remember
have,
what
like,
it was called?
jumpers that go out on each side.
Do you remember what the facility was called?
It's the Anoka County Workhouse, is what you would call it now. It's right off of the Rum River in Anoka. You can actually pull it up and look at it in like an aerial view. Just look up the Anoka County Workhouse, and I can actually hear if you have yours.
I found the Anoka County Workhouse. Okay, let's see here.
It's a big circle.
Okay, I see it.
Okay,
Yeah.
look at the.
What?
So the biggest building.
You're cutting in and out. Now you're muffled.
Zoom in a little bit more. So you can
Now you're at the end of a cardboard tube.
Okay, no. So the bottom right there, that big building right there, that's the workhouse. Yep, you got it. That's the workhouse, and that's where they put insane people in before and inhumane person.
You're getting low again. You're getting muffled. Stop moving your mic. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, I'm sorry. So underneath so zoom out again.
I can't hear what you're saying, Alice. I just hear noises.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Kinda. Now you're in a tin can.
Oh,
Now you're at the end of a valley.
Okay. So can you hear me now?
My God, you're doing every bad thing with mics possible in one hit. I don't know how you're doing this, but it's. Oh my God.
Can you hear me?
That's a little better.
Can you hear me?
Oh, what the fuck is happening?
I don't know.
Oh my God, now that's better. Whatever you did just now.
I put it to my face.
Okay, that works.
Okay, so right there, actually, you're looking at the right spot, like where I stayed. But underneath that entire complex is a bunch of tunnels. There's tunnels through all those buildings right there.
Well, where is this located anyway?
It's in Anoka, Minnesota.
Would it possibly be part of the Underground Railroad, why they would have those tunnels? You know, getting them up to Canada?
No. These are just underground tunnels to move.
Oh, okay.
Once upon a time. But anyways, that big building right there, that's the workhouse where I had my ghost experience.
Okay.
I didn't believe in ghosts until I stayed there. Actually, on the left side right there, that
your mic's gone crappy again.
Oh, God damn it!
There we go.
Oh,
like, just don't move. Just don't move and just talk. Like no gesturing, no going to get a hot dog. Don't move.
No, don't go get a hot dog.
No hot dogs.
I want a hot dog now. Thanks.
That's
God damn
too
it,
bad.
dude.
After you're done talking, you can get a hot dog.
Okay, so anyway, on the left side is the women's unit on the second floor. The other side of that one, but like some of those buildings have been actually they've been closed down because they're not livable. You know, like what do you call that when a house is?
And you said this was a military thing, right? Like this looks like a former like barracks base or something.
It does. That's why I said I'm gonna have here, pull back up and show. I'm gonna show Dusty the landing of that whole area. Does that look like?
Oh God, your bike's gone bad again.
Like a horseshoe. It's right around the river.
I heard a
Do you think that
railroad.
looks like a little fort?
I'm not hearing anything what you're saying.
Oh no! I was asking Dusty. I had him look at the area of it. I was
Oh.
asking if it looked like it might have been a fort before, kind of like Fort Snelling in Minnesota.
Well,
It's
it
a
wouldn't
little
have
bit
been a
down.
fort, but it'd be a base, definitely. Like, because this.
Hmm?
What is this?
Zoom out a little bit. Okay. Zoom out so we can see the river real quick.
I mean, like, there's more buildings here. This whole thing looks like a facility.
Yeah, he's saying it's right off of the Rum River, and he's saying like where it is. It looks like an old facility. But that whole area right there actually has underground tunnels that go down to the river as well. So I'm thinking it was an old fort.
Probably.
But like that's where I had my first ghost experience. Really, like one I could actually see. I saw a woman walking in a gown with no legs.
Ooh.
Across. She was floating. She was floating. Yes. Or levitating. Yeah, one of the two. But like, yeah, that's yeah. Actually, here, zoom in from the angle you're at from that big building. I'll show you what room I had.
This is as
Do you
close
see
as I
that
can
little?
get.
Do you see the big window on the right side right there? Here, no. Zoom down. Not the third floor, second floor.
Oh, this is as close as I can
Yeah.
get.
Yep.
Wait a minute.
That was where that was my jail room. Was that bay window that came out right there?
Oh,
yep,
dang.
right there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, no, it won't.
That's
it won't
also
let me.
where I
There's no
saw an
path.
apparition I can't explain. And also, right below me was the room where they did inhumane shock therapy, electric shock therapy to people.
Yikes.
Yep. That's why I think that place is haunted. I also saw a jail mat, like a bedding like thing for cushion. Get a mattress, get thrown across the room, across the hallway from me, with nobody in that room.
Oh, I remember you talking to me about that.
Yep, that's the place where it happened. Some of those places right there in buildings are they're condemned because they're not livable because they're falling apart inside.
Yeah, they're
The structure
dilapidated
outside
and left to rot and everything.
Yes. But anyways, aside from that, also some hunters, they sneak down to go into the tunnels.
You got all muffled again.
But there's also the reason why the tunnels are closed down now is because people have gotten lost in them and died.
Yeah, Alice, you keep like cutting in and out, and then you get all muffled, and then you sound like you're out of a tin can, and then you sound you're like far away, and then we can't. I don't know what you're doing.
All right.
But you're going through
I don't
every
know.
phase
Well,
of
anyways,
fucked up microphone
why
I've
don't
ever
you tell your
experienced.
stories now?
I'm sorry, I want to hear what you're saying, but I can't. No, well, I have a lot of stories, but I'll tell the simplest one. Like I remember many years ago, and I was still in my mid-teens or whatever. Like I think I was still in high school, so this was way back then. But I woke up in the middle of the night. It was 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning, whatever. Still in this house that I'm still in today. And I just saw the ever so faintest, it seemed like there was a light flashing or something very far away. Not like I could see down a tunnel or whatever, but like the hallway was just ever so slightly illuminated and then de-illuminated. Like it was like something that you can only see right out of asleep. If you had been conscious at all, you wouldn't even notice it. It was so dim. And then, I heard, coinciding with the lights, a slight, muffled thumping. And then I figured out that it sounded like the refrigerator being open and closed because I'm paying more attention, laying in bed, just really just focusing on this. And I hear the door open. I hear the hum, of you just, down the stairs, around the bed and all that stuff in the kitchen. I hear that. And so I'm like, okay, that's weird. So I get out of bed and I walk into the hallway, and I see that both my parents are asleep in the bed. I go into the bedroom. I look. They're both there. There's nobody else in the house. Like there wasn't a burglar or anything. We didn't have any guests or anything. But I went over to the banister and I can distinctly now see because like the way the house is set up, I can't explain it without showing a blueprint. I'm not going to do that. But you can see very clearly at night when the refrigerator opens because the light comes in and you can hear the noise of the fridge. So something was downstairs opening and closing and opening, closing, and opening and closing. And then I'm just like, okay, that's weird. And I went back to bed. The next morning, there was nothing was stolen. Nothing was misplaced. We didn't have missing food. There wasn't, whatever. There wasn't any signs of forced entry. There were no unlocked doors. Nothing. So the only thing that comes to my mind is and it wasn't a dream. It was real. And I've sensed I feel presences and stuff how some people, not really a sixth sense, but more spiritually connected people can feel things. You know what I'm saying? I have this sense. It's nothing original. There's billions of people out there with it. A lot of people. I have entry level ESP or something, I guess, extrasensory perception. But this house definitely is haunted to some degree. Where we're at, they're very likely, some cowboys or Native Americans or something could have, died out here on the Western Plains. This was just some whatever desert land out here in California. We don't know the history of, there could be, some dead and buried guy, down below the foundations of the house that they never got to through digging. I don't know. So there's definitely something here. So, but that's my easiest story and all that stuff. But Alice, do you or your guests have anything else to say, or you there? Hello? Hello?
Can you hear my cough?
There, we can hear your cough just fine. Go figure.
Freya said she has a ghost that likes to play games with her.
Do tell.
Yeah. You tell. Oh, this same house that I lived in, it seemed like the ghost wasn't trying to scare me. Well, maybe it was just that I was brave to him. I'm putting it him. I don't know what it was. I would stand up to it and say, I would just shout at you, don't scare me. And just leave me alone and go away and things like this. But I would come downstairs in the morning and there would be little ornaments and things that were on the shelf. They would be on the floor or somewhere, not just fallen off the shelf, but somewhere like under a cupboard, something like that. I would find them and I think, how did it get over here? And I'd pick it up and put it back up, and then the next day it would be something else. But I don't know, there were many little encounters. I was telling Danielle I'd taken a shower and I came downstairs with, wrapped in a towel. Well, it was a sarong actually, and a towel on my head. So all my shoulders were bare. And as I was making myself a drink, I could feel somebody actually blowing on my neck, like as strong as you would blow out onto your hand. I could feel that on my neck. And I honestly thought there was somebody behind me. And I just turned around suddenly and I said, you just go away. You don't scare me one little bit. But actually I was speaking. You don't scare me. Go away. This is just not right. But, anybody else might have just fallen to pieces. But I just dealt with it like that because I loved my house and I didn't want to move anyway.
Yeah.
Because my ghost. Yes.
Now, let's backtrack a bit. About your about all those little ornaments and stuff. You guys didn't have any pets in the house, cats,
No.
gerbils.
No.
like
any random mice infestation or whatever? Like,
animals, you know, gerbils, standard. Of all animals, gerbils.
you're in a tin can again.
What? What did?
I can't hear you guys.
Behind my microphone. Of all things, you go. You didn't have gerbils or anything.
Well, I don't know. Like, you know, small, like people have like hamsters or whatever. Like, you know, and they get loose and you know they're kind
We
of.
had snakes and monkeys and civet cats, you know, and wild kind of tropical animals like that. Well, sometimes. Yeah, no, they did. The snakes didn't drop. No, they didn't. They would be little things, you know, just little things that. You had lizards in your house, but I mean, even if a lizard knocked it down, it's not going to take it, you know, across the room and under the shelf. You know?
Yeah. By the way, any viewers watching right now, I'm sorry. Please bear with us, but Alice's microphone is complete garbage. I can't even hear what they're saying either. But I just letting them go from now on. So, anyway, continue on.
Well, no, she was saying is like where she was living in Singapore is that like even if animals came in and knocked down little ornaments and stuff, there's no way or reason why they would be put in these specific places in a pristine order.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I can't hear for a tiddler's damn. Like I, you know,
Well, I'm
like,
just
as I
gonna
said,
have her,
you're
like-
cutting in, you're cutting out, you're going away, you're coming in, you're muffling, you're tin canning, you're
I
kazooing.
can't help
like,
it. I'm
I
in
just
the
don't-
Appalachians. What do you want from me?
Yeah, a better phone? Like, I don't know. Like, I want
Dude,
to
I
hear
just
you,
got
Alice.
this phone. It's not the phone. It's actually just the area.
Ah, well,
It's the Appalachian mountain range.
well, we got to get
This
you
is always
some like
been an issue
Starlink
out
or
here.
something like to go with you forever. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But like.
But
your
anyways,
service-
what's the other stories we got going? Why don't you go
so,
on
yeah.
these? I'm gonna mute so you don't hear me, robot.
I'm sorry. Like, I feel really rude to you and your friends right now. Like, I just can't hear.
No,
them.
you're not rude. You're fine, dude.
Okay.
Like, we know that my phone sucks.
Yeah. Anyway, so right here, the first thing I have is, this is some stupid tabloid thing, you know, yuck, yuck, yuck. Morgan Freeman is Jimi Hendrix, conspiracy theorists claim. Jimi Hendrix reinvented himself as actor Morgan Freeman in the 1970s, shortly after, quote-unquote, faking his own death. So, like, I wonder if this is an actual theory or if this is just some stupid meme I found. So, let's look this up. Morgan Freeman is Jimi Hendrix. Let's see. Morgan Freeman is Jimi Hendrix. I mean, this is kind of weird. Wait, Morgan Freeman to admit that he is really Jimi Hendrix? What? Is there any credibility that Jimi Hendrix is... Hold on, what is this? So, like, I see what they're doing here, but... So, let's see here. What is this from? This is from Facebook. Scott Preege, whoever this guy is. Yeah, so this is obviously, like, a fictitious article here. So, what is this? Is there any credibility to the theory that Jimi Hendrix is still alive and well and living as Morgan Freeman? The word theory in the 21st century is misused daily. People made up crazy ideas, blah, blah, blah. Hendrix disappeared in 1970. Freeman started serious acting in the 70s. They are both black, left-handed, and have some similarities. Now, let's see here. I don't want... Okay, apparently I need to sign up for some trial or whatever to read the rest of this. So, yeah. There's some cons to this. So this is... okay, here. Where does this go? Why conspiracists think Morgan Freeman is Jimi Hendrix? You have to die before they think you're worth anything. I mean, that is a very true statement. What do you guys have to say about this? Like... What are your thoughts on this? This is kind of a weird theory, but there's more to this that I'm finding, and I'm starting to get a little concerned. Alice? Alice, unmute yourself. Are you there? Okay, well, I guess, Oh,
I'm
there she is.
here. I'm sorry. My phone's being a douche new.
Damn.
What's up?
Well, what are your thoughts about this? Did you hear anything I said?
What about about? Is that Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah, I just went on the whole thing. Were you not paying attention?
I was peeing.
Oh, that's lovely.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, no. Anyway, there's a whole theory, and now I just did like a quick search, and there's like a bunch of articles. I thought this was just some random meme I found, but there's a legitimate conspiracy theory stating that Jimi Hendrix faked his own death and then resumed his life under a whole new identity as Morgan Freeman. Jimi Hendrix had disappeared in the 70s, and that's the same time where Morgan Freeman started his acting.
Heard that when I was in the bathroom. But like, oh my god. Does
What?
Morgan got to say about it?
I don't know. I haven't gone that deep into this. This is just like a brand new theory to me.
That'd be interesting if actually Morgan Freeman was Jimi Hendrix. I don't know. But all I know is that every time Morgan Freeman does a good gesture or something of some kind, he gets a new knuckle.
Wait, hold on. I have a thing here. Snopes has already debunked it, pointing out that Freeman's acting career began in 1964, while Hendrix's body was examined post-mortem by a local coroner. So, okay. So they did find his body. He didn't just disappear. Okay. I think.
So quiet, I can't. So when Morgan Freeman started acting, Jimi Hendrix died.
No, the theory was that Jimi Hendrix faked his death and continued his life as actor Morgan Freeman.
Yeah.
Let's see here. When did Morgan Freeman start acting? Let's go to 12. Okay. Morgan worked many acting jobs until 1968 when he got his first role in Broadway in a musical called Hello, Dolly. Oh, I know that one. Okay, so Morgan Freeman was around, so they cannot be the same person. So, okay, that theory is pretty much debunked at this point, I believe. So.
Yeah, all we need to do really is just look up and see, like, we have to do a differential between Morgan Freeman's hands and Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah.
Because the way Jimi Hendrix played, like, he, like, played so hard on the guitar that the back of the neck of the guitar, like, actually had grooves from his fingers.
Dang.
For his thumb. He would even wrap his thumb around and play the high E string.
That
Oh
is
no, I'm
pretty
sorry.
crazy.
Yeah, he was able to do that. Or no, I mean, Pinky would go around. He could hit the low E string. I'm sorry.
Now I have another fake their own death thing. I was recently educated of this, and there's a bunch of theories behind Michael Jackson and everything and whatnot. But this theory was Michael Jackson faked his death and is living today under the name like John or JJ or something. It was a double J name. I wish I remember the name. I was watching I think Winning Reality the other day, and they were playing old video or something. I think it was either him or Mighty Meat. I'm not sure. But they also they in the video they even had like superimposes and all that stuff and how like makeup artists and like fake nose artists and all that stuff would do. So he's like, because he was actually like this John guy or something like just appeared after the death of Michael Jackson, and like he already has relationship with Michael Jackson's now widowed wife, and his fatherless children and all that stuff. There's a whole Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, we're on right now.
have you heard the
Get in
rumors
here.
that like Michael Jackson,
Tell me.
Tupac,
did.
Biggie, and like Elvis are all living on an island down in the Bahamas somewhere?
That is another theory. But yeah, like I'm trying to find the name. Like, let's see here. Under the name, I'm like, well, here's IMDb. Suicide. I'm not sure. I gotta look more into this and everything and figure out exactly what the name was and whatnot. But like, I'm not sure. Like, do you think he's dead, or do you think there really is like one of these conspiracies might be true?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, but then again, like, you know how people won't die? They're eating baby brains.
Well, there's that whole thing. But we just
Yeah,
got
there's
joined
that
by...
conspiracy.
Hey, the Golden Loon.
Allegedly. Was that Papa Dukes?
Yes, it is.
Well, who died?
Hey,
Who are you
Papa
talking
Dukes,
about?
love you. Hey, say hi to Dusty and Victoria, my partners in crime right now on the great state of Pennsylvania.
Well, Justy, did you say, in Victoria?
Dusty and Victoria.
Dusty, okay, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Justy, what kind of a name is
I
that?
don't know. I'm going with what I thought she said. Didn't
Oh,
make sense.
actually,
Dusty,
Dusty,
okay.
what year did you get the Guinness Book of World Record for deep sea diving?
Ooh, that's impressive.
Yeah. Twice.
1968 was the first one, and then second one was 1972 that he broke the Guinness Book of World Record for deep sea diving.
Wow,
He's a
nice.
Navy man of deep sea diving.
Yep.
Impressive. I am impressed.
You know, we were talking
Yeah.
about Michael Jackson.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
there's a million and one theories about, like Michael Jackson, freaking Elvis Presley. Like, there always is.
Yeah.
But as I've said, like, I was watching a live stream the other day. I think it was Winning Reality. I'm not entirely sure. But like they were saying that Michael Jackson is actually alive under a different name of like JJ or John or something, and they did superimpositions or whatever, like of his face.
Yeah.
And it was I'm explaining it for a second time to the viewers. Sorry about that, but just bringing the loon here up to speed. But we were talking about that. We talked about how there's a
Well, don't review it. Keep on going.
Okay. Anyway, now we're already 44 minutes in, so I have this other thing here actually submitted to us by Cheese, one of our new friends here from the Winning Reality and Extended community. So now he has it here from this, and then I'll read this off to you right here. From Anonymous, so I think this is like a 4chan post, I'm not sure. While in Mexico, ran into Tom DeLonge, great guy, have met him before. Tom, you know exactly who this is, and to prove it, quotes, that 12-year-old stole my lighter, end quote. So apparently this guy actually, that's proof for whatever. Anyway, it goes on to say, you agree that if you didn't tell what you told me, I could publicly say it. I haven't forgotten. Don't get me wrong, I think Tom is a great person, but a deal is a deal. I gave him the benefit of the doubt for his last interview, but he didn't say it. You cannot believe me, and that's the goal. He said aliens don't come from other planets, said it was a hole in time. Time is not really a thing. Well, it is something that we, a construct made by human perception to better organize our lives, but in all actuality, everything is all happening. We all know that time is just a human construct.
Right.
Like, we only see it linearly, but it's not. So anyway, it says here, time is not really a thing, and these aliens that he's calling it, that because that seems to be what everyone here else calls it, extraterrestrial spirits, whatever you prefer, understand the mechanism. The bad news is that these things are incredibly old, in the millions of years, and apparently to them we are like an experiment. They have manipulated us and are responsible for the religions, posing as the God of the Israelites and speaking to Muhammad to sow division, divide humanity, and put us at war with each other, to keep us away from being united by whatever means necessary. Apparently, us being unaware this is a big experiment for them is important, and I'm kind of shooting the human race in the foot by disclosing this, but still. Military is scared how they may react to us sounding the alarm officially to the public, mainly because we are utterly defenseless. We don't fully grasp how it all works. Said Tesla was onto something with frequencies on vibration. You know, we've discussed that quite a bit on this show several times. They're interested in our DNA and evolution. They are responsible for the global catastrophes we've had in the past and resetting humanity when they're angered. Military is worried they'll do the same if we publicly disclose. They are always watching and are aware of our actions. So this is like probably an explanation as to why they will just never seem to come out with the truth, even though it's obvious, the writing is on the wall, but they're just not going to come out and say, oh yeah, aliens are real, officially. Because, what if this is true? What if they do have a destruct, the Earth button, or like reset civilizations? And I myself, am a believer of past ancient civilizations. We all know about Atlantis and everything. Yeah. There's also a Doggerland, which is, I believe, it's this big area, like relatively shallow water to the east of the British Isles that they didn't know was above water until they were dredging it for whatever project or something, and they discovered after because it's under 30 meters of water or something. It's not shallow, but it's not deep. Yeah. But they discovered ancient pottery and jewelry and arrowheads and everything. So obviously it was above water. There wouldn't be underwater people leaving that there.
Well, there's a number of man-made structures underwater all around the world.
Yeah, definitely.
They're finding here and there.
Oh, definitely. That pathway to Atlantis. You know what I'm talking about, where all the stones are perfectly same and all this stuff. But I believe what if, so obviously there was an Atlantis, whichever way, you want to believe it, that's different, but why can't all of them be true? Why do people think Atlantis was a city and had to have been here or had to have been there? What if Atlantis was an entire global, civilization? And there's a whole theory about,
Sure.
The last reset, societal collapse, total, complete destruction, beyond anything we can comprehend. Was because between Atlantis and another equally powered thing, and they just mutually assured destruction themselves, reset us, and it took us thousands of years to reinvent the wheel. All it takes is a couple generations, as as you've seen.
Well, it's a plausible theory for sure.
Yeah. So, but then that brings up, you have some glitter on your face, by the way. Okay. But that brings up, what if it is, these ETs or whatever, they have a reset button, and every time, kind of from Mass Effect, the Reavers or whatever, every now and then, every clockwork, they come and then they glass a planet and reset civilization. What if something like that is true? And I've been going on and on for a while. So Alice, what do you have to say? Or
well, go ahead, let her shoot.
You have anything to say about that? Actually, we were sitting here listening to you, but we were also talking about we were talking about how you, over the week, we've been talking about, the park down in Florida. How it was built.
Oh, you're talking about the Coral Castle?
The Coral Castle, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We were talking about that, and then Dusty just said, while you were talking about aliens and stuff, he was like, well, it looks like new research came out that looks like they used water to help build the pyramids.
Yeah, we spoke about that at one of the shows last week.
Which I'm not quite buying, but yeah.
But I've been talking to aliens are crazy. Well, I actually do believe that aliens are just us in a different form, maybe. At the same time, it's a weird idea. No.
Well, I mean, there's a whole thing, and I've had this conversation a couple times in the past several days, actually, where, people are oh, blah, blah, according to religion, there are no aliens. Wrong. According to one religion, there are no aliens, and even that is invalid. Only in Christianity, and maybe the Old Testament, so maybe Jews believe this, I'm not sure, but it's not all religions that believe mankind was made in God's image. However, if mankind was made in God's image, that does not say that there's nothing else out there not made in God's image. It never says that, to my knowledge. I've never read the Bible, but just because of that, people correlate that with, oh, there's no aliens. No, it doesn't say that,
If God exists, God would have to create the universe, but in the Bible, it's built to believe that only one particular place has life, which is Earth. But it's a flat disk standing on 4 pillars, I think.
I can't
So
understand.
We've been having this fight this entire time. So.
That's a shame.
Her phone's just a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know. Like, I'm not saying that God's wrong, but like maybe it is flat, but the way it looks.
Yeah, I don't know, Alice. I don't know what you're saying. I haven't been able to understand a single word.
See, it's goddamn Appalachian Mountains.
We gotta get you a Starlink or something. I swear.
No, my microphone's on this. But it was on this. Because for some reason, my Discord doesn't want me to go from phone to speaker. God forbid.
Well, I don't know. Like, put it on your phone and hold it to your face if that works better. I don't care. I gotta hear you.
Yeah, I really want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah, kinda.
Dude, I'm
That's like that.
putting my phone in my mouth.
Well, then you gotta keep it there.
Don't swallow.
Yikes.
That's what she said.
Wow, who interpreted that? Put your phone in your mouth.
Jesus,
Never
Papa,
interpret
dude,
it
why
wrong.
would you say that, you dirty bastard?
So what were you saying, Alice?
I don't even know what I was saying anymore.
Oh.
I'm just saying that, like, according to the Bible, that the Earth is technically flat and on 4 pillars, right? Is that what I... Bible?
No, the Turtles of Time and all that stuff, I think, is like ancient theologies. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with
In
Christianity.
all honesty, though, when I hear that, like, the Earth is flat and it's on 4 pillars from God, like, all of a sudden I feel like I'm in a Terry Pratchett, like, book
Huh.
with Discworld.
Huh. Well, no, the world is in
by the
the
way-
shape of a donut, in all honesty.
You ever read Terry Pratchett?
I have not.
Oh my god, Terry Pratchett, one of the most entertaining, like, authors you'll ever, like, read. Discworld. He's got a few things, but basically, like, the Earth is on a disc, standing, that's, like, on top of a space elephant circulating something. The whole world is weird. It's like a disc world with an elephant with really long legs floating through space and time.
Oh, I see. Okay,
Yeah,
it's on
that's
a turtle.
Terry Pratchett.
I have it right here. Let's see if I can find a bigger image, actually. Hold on a second. Yeah, open image
found
in
it.
tab. So yeah, right here, as you can see, Lou.
Yeah.
So it's a turtle
an
time with
elephant
an
on
elephant,
top of
and
a
there's a
turtle.
disc world just floating through space, and that's the Earth. Okay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yep, I forgot about the turtle.
Yeah. No, I said the Turtles of Time. I mean, this is a more ancient things, like, you know, like the days of Atlas, or even before then. Like, this is, like, I'm not
Maybe
sure
Terry
if...
Pratchett was one.
Yeah. No, but before we wrap us up here this evening, Alice, what do you have to say about this whole, like, ancient civilization and, like, you know, like, time-traveling ETs are actually in control of, like, a civilization's reset button and all that? Did you hear all the stuff that I read?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
What I'm gonna retort with is something from Battlestar Galactica. All this has happened before and it will happen again.
Well, a couple things in here, just going back to it a bit.
Well, the remake.
They observe us, I believe it says somewhere in there, they observe us as kind of like an experimental species.
Yes.
You know, in our infancy and all that good stuff, and they're millions of years old. And yet, then why would they be so interested in our DNA? They should know that quite well. So I don't quite get that.
Well,
but I do like the rip in time, if that's what they're talking about. If that's what they're talking about as a portal coming in, because I do think time is fully dimensional, and if you can figure it out, you can travel through different times and come here rather than travel. It's easier to travel through time than space, as far as I'm concerned, if there's dimensional times.
Now, see, here's what's interesting. Time and space used to be two separate things, and at some point,
No,
they
time and
connected.
space is the same.
No, they used to be two different things, perceived as two different things.
Okay.
And then at some point, we merged them together into space-time. So now space-time, is one and the same. But like, what perception is actually reality? Like, is space and time the same thing, or are they actually what we thought of originally? Was that true as two different things? But then again, time is a construct of human perception, and
all we, as far as reality goes, all we can look at is
what's in
our
front of us.
dimension.
Yeah.
So, you have to talk it in that terms. Everything else you're imagining, projecting, and everything else. So, in reality, it's one-dimensional reality for us.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it really is. We live in a three-dimensional world, but in a one-dimensional viewpoint.
Yeah.
Essentially.
Yeah.
So, but like,
I always like to say, many dimensions are you and I sitting here looking at this screen. That image on the screen is one-dimensional. It can't see us. It doesn't know we exist. So who's to say there's not another 1,000 dimensions out there that we can't see and exist?
By the way, speaking of in the screen, let me show you
There
something.
you go. Look at that. ugly butt. That's reality.
No, let me show you something cool.
In this dimension.
So look at this up here. Watch this. Okay, look at my hand.
Oh yeah.
I can do shadow puppets.
Well, that's
My own-
coming from your. That's coming from your.
Yeah, it's a reflection
tower.
of my screen.
Yeah.
It's pinging back and
No, it's
forth.
the tower over there, I think.
No.
Light in the tower.
Oh, that is a light from my tower. Okay, yeah, it's okay. That's what that is.
Yeah.
Oh, oops, I don't know. Anyway, does anybody have any closing statements before we wrap us up here this evening? Alice,
What?
do you or your friends have anything else to add before we wrap us up here?
No, actually, I've just dubbed Dusty and Victoria as Uncle Dusty and Auntie Vicky.
All right.
Yep,
Always
so-
more room for family.
Yep. And now Papa Duke and you have to get acclimated with them as well.
Yep.
Get acclimated.
Acclimated with Uncle Dusty and Auntie Victoria.
Yeah,
Auntie.
got to. Absolutely. You're right.
Yeah.
Auntie Vicky or Auntie Vic.
Auntie.
Yeah, I'm also. It's already awesome when you're talking about
Auntie
deep sea
Victoria?
diving.
Yeah,
I mean,
Auntie
it's incredible.
Victoria.
Yeah. Well, we can talk
Uncle
more about deep
Dusty?
sea diving tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like if Alice has.
Oh yeah. Papa Dukes, were you here when I told you about Uncle Dusty's acclimates he did back in the 60s and 70s?
The deep sea diving?
Yep.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I heard it. Absolutely. That's why I'm so impressed.
By the way, so in 68, how many feet did you go for that year? 850 meters or feet? 850 feet.
Whoa.
72. What did you do?
What's the pressure like down there?
A lot.
1,010 in open sea.
Yikes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it is. But let's wrap us up here. It is 6 o'clock, and Alice's signal is not that good, so.
I know, you gotta
Yeah.
love the Appalachians.
Yeah, so I apologize to all the viewers who had to suffer through the horrible signal. Believe me, you're not alone. But hopefully next week we'll have a better, we can actually hear you next week.
But I heard I liked.
Yeah.
Her.
All right. So anyway, that shall conclude us. Where'd my script go? I got rid of the script. Hold on a second.
You don't need no strip.
Just freelance.
Well, once again, please check the underbar of the description for any links you may be interested in, including but not limited to all things Omni Coalition. For your dose of weekly, UFOlogy, conspiracy, and all that whatnot, we stream every Saturn's Day at 5 p.m. Pacific time, which is 6 Mountain, 7 Central. And what time, Alice?
Oh, what time? Oh, well, what time is it right now indeed? Oh, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
Eastern time.
Yep. And we don't just do this show. We have a history show almost every day at 11 in the morning Pacific time. We have a news show every Friday. We have the Peanut tomorrow at 4 p.m. Pacific time. So,
don't miss it.
Actually, and we're going back to 6 p.m. Eastern time.
Which one?
Remember? I finally have my days off.
Oh, tomorrow we're doing at 3. Okay.
Wow, the Peanut.
That's
Yep.
right. She has it off tomorrow. Okay.
Hey, what a thought!
I only
know,
have my
right?
days off.
So anyway, for all of you and all of us, I am Aoxander, and who am I joined by?
Oh, you gotta say your name.
Lost it.
We can't hear them, Alice.
Well, they said Victoria, Dusty, and Alice.
All right, and
Golden Loon.
And of course, we have you, the viewer. Thank you very much for watching and tolerating this jarbled mess of a show. As I said, next time it will be better with luck. And until you catch us next time, whenever that is, wherever that is, don't forget to look right and left at every intersection, rate 5 thumbs, and subscribe. Toodles!